Plaintiff Ann Hall says the defendant used to date her cousin, and now he's dating her sister. Ann claims she allowed the defendant to move in with her, but she kicked him out after he ditched his car while running from the police and left his 2-year-old in the vehicle, and suing her sister's boyfriend for an unpaid fine. Defendant Nathan Nelson and his girlfriend Amy say Ann is a pill popper who never liked the fact that they were dating, and Nathan believes it's because Ann had feelings for him. Nathan doesn't believe he owes Ann for anything.
Start with you.
I know Nathan because he made it a goal to date the women in my family.
All the women, you say?
Practically, trying to. First he dated my cousin, and then he moved on to my sister. I let him move in with me when he started dating my cousin back in August of 16. It was the biggest mistake I've made.
Why? What was it like when he lived there?
He barely worked. He sat around. He smoked some weed once in a while with the kids around. Barely kept a job, barely contributed to helping around the house.
Did you charge him when he moved there?
I did not.
Well, that was your mistake.
Yes.
All right. When did he leave?
November of 16.
Why? You put him out or what happened?
I did. He got pulled over and arrested for violating deer out of season.
Shooting deer?
Yes.
Hunting out of season?
He left his 2-year-old in the car and he ditched the car. So that was the last straw for him living with me. He went to jail.
He went to jail for that and or child neglect and abuse?
I don't know exactly what charges he got.
Wow. All right, sir, you want to give some background?
Well, Your Honor, I started dating her sister and she didn't like it because she probably liked me at the time.
Your Honor.
The cousin, or you dated the cousin as well, right?
She was always at home popping pills while I was running Scott around.
Your Honor, that is so not true.
While what?
Weed. While I was running Scott around to get weed.
Okay, who was Scott?
Her husband.
Okay. Did she work?
And no, not at the time.
Okay. How about you?
I was working at Walmart.
Why'd you have to live with her?
She offered me to move in and I was like, okay.
You didn't have any place to stay?
I could have stayed at my dad's, yes.
So you didn't have any place to stay other than with your parents?
Yes.
Okay. And when she offered, did you intend to help pay bills or anything?
No. My chore at the house was laundry.
What?
My chore at the house was doing the laundry for everybody.
Your chore was to do the laundry?
Yes, sir.
And all right. And that was your payment for rent?
Yes.
Wash clothes?
Yes.
Okay. All right, young man. You're obviously a handsome young man, according to the ladies in their family. And there's something attractive about you.
You don't got to worry about that. There's plenty enough for me to go around.
There's plenty of him to go around. All right. Well, tell me about the deer.
Well,
See, it makes you sound pretty bad saying you left a child in the car. Go ahead.
Well, when the car broke down, we were driving up the highway and there was this white truck following us and I pulled over and the 2 people I had in my car shot the deer and put it in my trunk.
Your Honor,
and they locked my car.
Called me.
Go ahead.
They locked my car while I tried to get it. I told them to get it out of my trunk. They locked the car and I couldn't get back in. So my door was all kicked in and everything and I still couldn't break the windows or anything. And then the cops showed up and I got arrested because I tried to protect them for lying, saying I shot the deer and everything.
What about the child?
They got my car unlocked from a window unlock thing. They took the child and the child went with my dad.
Because you were arrested or something?
Yes.
Okay. So you didn't run off on the child?
No.
Tell me why you're suing him. What is the fine you're suing for?
In October, he took my truck without permission while I was sleeping, and he knew that it had no insurance, and he knew that the rear sway bar arm was broke. He needed a way to get to work, and his vehicle didn't start. He took the truck and hit a car. They came back. He had my cousin in the car with him. They came back and woke me up. They needed to go to the hospital, so I took them both to the hospital. And I did tell him if anything came out of this, that he would have to pay for it, and he said it was fine. In April, I got the letter from DMV stating that all my registrations to my vehicles are suspended due to the accident that Nathan was involved in.
And the fine was, how do we get to this $22.55?
The letter from the DMV says $22.55.
Let's see it. I don't quite understand. The fine is for not doing what?
Not having insurance. And I let a driver drive it.
It says security amount. So this was, the basis of it was the accident though.
Correct.
Because if had you not been in an accident, you would have just gotten a no insurance ticket, I assume.
Correct.
Yeah, because in the states that have this, what it involves is getting kind of like a security, like a bond, in case there's a judgment and you can't pay the judgment on the lawsuit that occurred as a result of the accident. So the state makes you put up money and you get it back after a year or so if it's not used. Sir, let me hear from you.
Well, the day that I took the truck, I was bringing her daughter to school, bringing her cousin to school, and before I could even get to her cousin to school, we went to a four-way stop, and we stopped, and a car pulled out in front of us when it was my turn. I hit them in the passenger door, and then we immediately called her on Facebook right after it happened, before the cops even got there. We went back, and she said it was all fine. There was no damage to her truck.
You took it with her permission?
Yes.
Okay. Why don't you think you should pay?
Because it's not my fault that she had no insurance on it.
Okay. Well, the fact is it wouldn't have become an issue had you not had an accident. This fine is relative to there having been an accident. It isn't just because of insurance. When you don't have car insurance and you're pulled over, they simply give you a ticket. They don't give you a $2,000 fine. The $2,000 is because they want to secure that there'll be monies available in case the other driver sues and wins. If she doesn't have insurance, yeah, there's no insurance that's going to pay for this judgment. That's why we're going to take that fine so we'll have something. Because you have no insurance, but we're going to make sure you have at least $2,000 in case this driver sues you and wins. That's what this is for, sir. And so I'm going to hold you liable because you hit the car on its side. You were the one in the accident. She says you took it without permission. Secondly, folks should know when you drive someone else's car, it's your duty to determine whether there's insurance. It's your duty to determine whether the plates are valid and the registration is valid. If you get caught in a stolen car, you can't tell the police, or it won't work, you can tell them that. You can't tell the police, well, so-and-so said this was his car, and so I'm just driving because he said. No, you have a responsibility to know whether the car you're driving is legal, licensed, registration, and so judgment for the plaintiff. Have a good day.
As it happens when you do too much drugs.
Oh, don't be that way.
No, he knew he was responsible for it, and he manned up. He didn't deny it, so I'm good.
I'm good the way she is. I hope we can become friends again and get this all in the past.
Same thing.
And we will, because that's my sister, and I love her.